2025 had some insanely fun games. If you don't believe me, check out our recent video here, but unfortunately there have also been plenty of stinkers this year. How's it going, guys? I'm Liam, this is Instant Gaming, and today we're looking at 10 of the most underwhelming games of 2025. At number 10, we have Hotel Barcelona, promising a stylish, mind-bending horror getaway, but ending up feeling more like a haunted house where half the rooms are closed for repairs. The aesthetic is striking, but beneath the bold colors and bizarre vibes lies gameplay that struggles to stay engaging for long. Combat feels clunky, progression lacks punch, and the wild ideas never quite click into something cohesive. You keep waiting for the moment it all comes together, but checkout time arrives first. It's not bad, it's just frustratingly close to being something special, which somehow makes the disappointment sting even more. Bloodlines 2 has lived so long in hype purgatory that expectations became mythical. Sadly, the final result feels more like a pale echo of its cult classic predecessor. The atmosphere is there and the world has moments of intrigue, but the writing lacks bite and the systems feel dated rather than deep. Choices rarely carry the weight fans hoped for, and the RPG mechanics never fully sink their fangs in. After years of anticipation, players wanted a dark, seductive vampire epic. What they got instead was fine, and fine was never going to be enough. Coming in at number 8, we have FBC Firebreak. It looks slick, it sounds intense, but once the action starts, the excitement fizzles out fast. The premise hints at tactical depth and chaotic encounters, yet missions quickly blur together into a loop that feels more repetitive than rewarding. Gunplay is serviceable, enemies are forgettable, and the progression lacks that just one more run feeling. It's the kind of game you boot up hoping it clicks, only to realize you've seen most of what it offers within the first few hours. Firebreak doesn't crash and burn, it just never really ignites. Splitgate 2 had the chance to recapture the lightning in a portal that made the original a surprise hit, but the sequel feels like it plays things a little too safe. The portals are still clever, the shooting is still smooth, yet the overall package lacks that fresh spark needed to stand out in a crowded arena shooter scene. New modes and tweaks don't dramatically change the experience, which makes it feel more like a remix than a bold evolution. It's fun in bursts, but not the kind of game that dominates your playlist. A solid match, but not a legendary one. Coming in at number 6, we have Double Dragon Revive. It aimed to resurrect a brawler legend, but it ended up reminding everyone why the genre moved on. The combat looks flashy but lacks depth, turning fights into button mashing routines rather than satisfying street showdowns. Environments feel flat, enemies lack personality, and the overall experience feels more nostalgic than genuinely exciting. There's charm in seeing the Dragon Brothers back in action, but nostalgia alone can't carry a full game. Revive doesn't disgrace the name, but it doesn't truly honor it either. It's a trip down memory lane that forgets to bring anything new for the ride. Tales of the Shire sounds like a dream. Cozy hobbit life, gentle tasks, and the warm glow of Middle-earth comfort. In practice, it's pleasant but painfully shallow. Farming, cooking, and socializing are cute at first, yet quickly settle into repetitive routines without much payoff. The world looks lovely, but there's little sense of growth or discovery to keep players invested long term. It's less an adventure and more a pleasant screensaver you occasionally interact with. For fans hoping to truly live in the Shire, this feels more like visiting for tea than moving in for good. Lost Soul Aside arrives swinging with flashy combat and stylish flair, but beneath the spectacle lies a game that struggles to find its own identity. The action feels fast yet oddly weightless, and the world lacks the depth needed to make exploration memorable. Story beats come and go without much emotional impact, leaving players more impressed by visuals than invested in the journey. It's clear there's passion here, but the final product feels more like a showcase than a fully realized epic. You admire it, enjoy a few fights, then you move on, wishing there had been more substance behind the style. In at number 3, we have Mind's Eye, promising a cinematic thriller that blends action, narrative, and a futuristic intrigue, but ended up feeling like a pilot episode stretched into a full game. The story teases big ideas without ever fully committing, while the gameplay sticks to familiar, uninspired patterns. Set pieces do look impressive, yet rarely translate into memorable moments you'll talk about later. You keep expecting a twist or mechanic that changes everything, but it never arrives. Mind's Eye isn't broken, it's just oddly hollow, like a blockbuster trailer that forgot to include the blockbuster. At number 2, we have the return of the 2004 classic, Painkiller. Painkiller's return should have been a glorious symphony of chaos, but this revival hits more like background noise. The core loop of blasting demons at high speed is still there, yet it feels stripped of the intensity and personality that once made the series stand out. Weapons lack impact, arenas blur together, and the adrenaline rush fades faster than expected. It is mindless fun for a short while, a bit like when you go on a rampage in GTA, but it never reaches that fever-pitch carnage that fans fell in love with. For a franchise built on excess, this comeback feels strangely restrained. Not terrible, just nowhere near the hell-raising revival players hoped for. And finally, at number 1, we have COD Black Ops 7. This one is difficult because the multiplayer is pretty clean, robot dog kill streaks, a great new range of weapons, and some classic maps. The 2 current zombie maps are also great. I've not finished either Easter egg yet, but I 100% will be. But the reason this entry into the Black Ops series is so disappointing is the campaign. Black Ops seems to be losing itself in its supernatural aspects and missing the gritty, over-the-top action elements we all grew to love as kids. I didn't expect to be dodging giant machetes and fighting a Menendez that has teleportation and electricity powers, because we used to get little pockets of weirdness in these campaigns, but now it's all over the top in all the wrong ways. It's a little dull, and to be honest, until we get back to some semblance of normality, I'll likely be skipping future campaigns. And that is 10 of the most underwhelming games of 2025. What games are you playing that let you down? Let me know down in the comments. So for all things gaming, don't forget to subscribe to Instant Gaming, and for great deals on games, you can check out our website at instant-gaming.com. And as always, thanks for watching.